Hey everyone, and welcome to our TECS webinar for 2025. I'm just going to start sharing some slides now. So thanks so much for joining us this evening. I know I don't have a lot of time in the evening, so really appreciate you giving it up and joining us here today. Just so you know, this is going to be recorded this evening. And if you have any questions, if you just type them in the Q&A chat, we will get to them in the end. So just give me one moment, we'll get our slides back up again. I can hear somebody typing away furiously there. So if you can mute if you're not talking for the moment, guys, that'd be great. Sorry. So this evening we are joined by some of our friends from Patch. Lucy, I think you're online there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Patch?
Yep. Hi, everyone. So my name is
guys.
Lucy. I'm the program manager at Patch. We should have Tim here as well. So Patch is a nonprofit community for talented young people, as you can see there across Ireland. So we run a couple of different initiatives. We run TECS alongside ISE, and then we also have our Patch Grants program, we have our SF Fellowship, and then we have our summer program, which is kind of our big accelerator we do each year. So we take 35 young people to Dublin for 7 weeks. We give them mentoring, project grants, space to build, accommodation, meals, everything like that. So it's really accessible. And yeah, that's kind of everything we do. It is our demo day last year.
Yeah, it is. It's a phenomenal program. So if anyone doesn't know about it, learn a little bit more and yeah, check it out next summer. ISE then is the other partner, obviously, which is us. And so for all of you who don't know about ISE, it's basically a 4-year master's, 3 years for a degree, where you work with industry and get up to 2 years of paid work experience with our partner companies. So there's really an accelerated timeline with the summer semester, but we find you the summer job and give you the academic credit for earning money at Ireland's most exciting workplaces. So we really do have amazing partners that you can work with, and it really is an exceptional disruptive course. So if you don't know about us, check us out as well online. So today is all about TECS, obviously. So the running order today, sorry, I just need to move things around a little bit. Just hello from us all, really. We'll talk about how TECS works, talk about the prizes and the mentors, of course, how you can win, the dates that are, of course, going to be very important, and we'll chat to some of the past winners, which I think is really exciting. And we'll have a Q&A. So as I mentioned, if you have any questions, just please put them in the chat there and we will get to them for sure. So we have some winners online here today, which is great. I think that's more exciting than hearing from us. So I think we have Con on first to tell us a little bit about how TECS works. Con, are you online there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can do.
Hi, I'm Con. I'm a first year IC student and I did Patch 2025 and I won TECS last year. So TECS is an amazing competition and it really opened up, like, 'cause I'd never heard of Pat Rain, this whole startup ecosystem before, and it was such a great opportunity. So you're obviously here to hear about how TECS works. So firstly, you come and you submit an idea, and this idea, crucially, can be at any stage. So I knew people who had been working on stuff before, and they brought ideas in. Some people worked in their as a Stripe Young Scientists projects, or like if you're like myself, I came in from scratch and I just started a completely new idea. And you get paired with a mentor then after that. So you get paired with a mentor with someone who's has an interest in your field. So I did a music project, which I'll talk about later, but I got paired with someone who also had interest in music. So then they could give me tailored feedback that maybe someone else wouldn't be able to give me because they wouldn't have the expertise in that field. So it's over 4 weeks, and at the end of every week, you send in a update of what you've done for that week. And this can be anything from if you code stuff, set up stuff, or just any general progress. And then your mentor will come back after with 2 times, after week 1, after week 2 and after week 4.
I think 1 and 2.
Or 1 and 3, sorry, after week 1 or after week 3. Sorry about that. Mixed them up in my mind. And they'll give you feedback and maybe different ways to approach things. And it really accelerates your progress on your project. So that's it from me and how TECS works. If you want to elaborate there, if I missed a lot of things.
No, that's brilliant. That's perfect. Thanks so much, Con. And we'll hear from you again in a little while, a little bit more about your project. So the prizes then, I think we've got Donna May there. It's going to talk us through the prizes. Are you there?
Yeah, so I'm Donna.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
So mic working well. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm Donna. I'm a first year in ISC, and I did TECS last year and won second place overall. I also did patch in 2024. So yeah, let's talk about the prizes. Definitely one of the most exciting parts of TECS. The overall first prize is 2,000 euros for you plus 1,000 euros for your school, and of course the official TECS trophy, a great prize for all the effort that goes into your project. And the second overall prize, which I was fortunate enough to win last year, which is 1,000 euros for you and 500 euros for your school, along with the TECS trophy as well. In addition, there are subcategory winners who will each receive a TECS trophy. So there are still a lot of chances to shine. And I can't forget the swag bags on the day mini competitions. Those are limited, but they're a fun bonus and also a great way to keep the energy throughout the award ceremony. So yeah, there's quite a few great reasons to give it your best shot and plenty of recognition for the work you put in.
Amazing. Thanks so much. So as you've heard, Con and Donna are ISE students now, and I suppose the partnership between Patch and ISE as well was both of these have an application process that requires a project in some form. So of course, these working on these projects gives you some background in how to run a project, but also you could potentially use it in your application for Patch or ISE. So I think that's really important. And it's great that you guys have gone through, Patch and ISE and TECS. You're great ambassadors for all three. So amazing. Yeah, so the other thing that changed this year actually was it was always the school that would win the prize, but there's lots of organizations that work with students on projects such as Teen Turn or Coder Dojo or iWish. So we're looking this year, if you have somebody that sponsored you and you're working on your project with that company or that organization, then please let us know, and they could be the person that gets the prize money instead. So that or the school, it'll default to your school, but just that's a slight change this year. Just keep in mind. And just onto the mentor. So the mentors, as Con mentioned, like once we see your project, so once we've had the initial project submission for your idea, we'll have a look at that and we will match you to a suitable mentor. So that could be somebody from Patch, it could be one of the ISE staff members, or it could be one of the ISE students. So we reach out to our alumni and our cohort and just see who's the best fit. As Con mentioned, he had our expert musician in-house, Dr. Ian O'Keefe, who plays 50 musical instruments, I think, and has a PhD in music. So that was the mentor you got, Con. And again, we will try to find the best fit for you and your project, and it will be unique to you. So I think that's a very important aspect of it. Next. And then how to win. I think that's back to you, Con, is it?
Okay, I'll take this one.
Oh, sorry, Donna. No, sorry, that was Donna. I'll pass it back. I think, yeah. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, let's move on to something that's maybe even more important, which is how to win. One of the key things to remember is that they reward progress. So the judges aren't actually looking for the most polished and final product. Instead, they look for how much improvement you've made and how well you've developed your idea over time. That's where the prizes go. So think in terms of iteration, just plan, test, adjust, and repeat. So every stage of refinement actually matters. Next, planning is absolutely crucial. Before you jump into building or testing, take the time to map out what success will look like for you. Have a clear set of milestones and also keep track of what worked and what didn't. If you're working on a team, make sure everyone on your team knows their role and responsibilities. Also listen carefully to feedback from your mentors. They are there to help you see aspects of your project you might have missed and also give advice that can make a huge difference. I remember one piece of feedback I got last year. It completely changed my data approach. It saved time and also improved the accuracy of my experiments. So be open to criticism, as it often leads to your biggest breakthroughs. And another tip I wanted to add was to document everything. Keep good notes, screenshots, or even short reflections of what you tried and did throughout the week and why. And it really helps when you're doing your weekly updates so you're not missing any details that you might want to tell the judges. Yeah.
Excellent. That's amazing. Thanks so much for that. And Donna, just one quick question. If your mentor gives you feedback and you didn't maybe agree with it, do you always have to take the mentor feedback, or could you come back and say, well, actually, I've thought about that, but I'm going to take a different approach? I think that's also a valid response.
Yeah, yeah, I actually had like a similar experience where my mentor gave me advice, but it didn't quite actually align with my project and what I was doing. So I actually told her in the next update that I didn't end up doing that, but instead I tried a different approach. Yeah, it worked out
Perfect. Yeah.
well.
I
Yeah.
think that's great because, it's not something that you have to take on board, but it is something it's nice to acknowledge it and then say why you're not using it. I think that's a good pointer.
Yeah.
The other small thing I would say is, and you said it perfectly as well, is just to remember to put in your updates. So maybe set a reminder in your calendar to put in your updates, and maybe one week you don't have as much as the other weeks, but please continue on and just give us some update each week to keep you in the competition. I think that's another one. So if you stick a reminder in your calendar or in your phone, I think that's a good way to do that. Thanks, Donna. And Con, back to you on the timeline.
So the timeline is really, really condensed. And the first thing is when you look at your project, and Don mentioned that planning is crucial, is that you want to have made good progress over the 4 weeks. So you have something to show for all the work you put in over text. So when applications close, and to week one, so your week one update will be what you've done in your first week. And if you might not make like lots of like hard things, but you might have done more research. And that's perfect. You throw that all into your updates. So I started off, me personally, like just like doing research, but also experimenting with different things, trying different things out. And then when I got my mentor feedback, I was like, oh, pause. And then you can pivot. So you do have the time to pivot, but you also need to like keep working on it to try and get some visible traction and a visible product, or not product, but like something to show for your work at the end of your 4 weeks. So after you'll get two mentor feedbacks, and you just keep putting in submissions. I think for last year when we were doing it, it was every Thursday, and you'd have your submission in, and you just keep a log and you put in everything you've done. And like, don't be afraid if you've tried something and it failed, because failure is part of building your project. So put that in. Oh, I tried training various different neural networks, different classification models, and some of them didn't work. But you still put them in and say, oh, I tried this, but it didn't work, and this is why I'm doing this other thing. And it really explaining your thought process and explaining why you're going about different things is really, really important. And yeah, so you put in 4 updates, you get two mentor feedbacks, and then hopefully we'll see you at the prize ceremony, and you're lucky enough to be awarded a prize for your project.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Con. Yeah, so we're looking at the 4th of December, but we will confirm that date pretty soon. So that's going to be exciting. We always love that date. We bring everybody together, which is really, really cool. Thanks so much for that. And great points again there about that iteration and about that, don't fear failing or doing something wrong. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to hear about that continuous improvement, and we want to hear, how you're learning as you go along. Nobody ever hits it and gets everything right the first time. So really important point there. Thanks, Con. So Con, actually, this is a bit more on you. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your project? What you were working on. Give us a bit of detail on it. I think
Yeah, so for the year before, I just come out doing a piano teaching diploma, and I was teaching students. And one thing I found is that it's very hard to spot mistakes when people are playing, because like they might make one to start and then get to the end, then you won't remember what they've done. So, and this like builds bad habits over time. So I wanted to create a solution for this. So I wanted to stream process data, what they were playing, and then compare it to see if they'd made mistakes, and they like visually show on sheet music, oh, where they played, where it was correct, where they were wrong, and give them accuracy score to see how well they did, so they can improve and iterate over time. So I started off and I planned it, and this is very, very good example of like mentor feedback. And I wanted to use sound waves, but I only have 4 weeks, and that wasn't very feasible. So my mentor, who's been dealing with sound all his life, was like, maybe you should move to MIDI data, which is more electronic. So I made that pivot, and
Thanks.
it made life a lot easier. And basically, I went on that, and at the end, I had a working prototype. What I set out to get working at the start of a system that took in what the user played, compared it, and gave out sheet music representation of what they played correctly, and an accuracy score as well.
Nice. I love that. I love that you combined two things that you were really passionate about and made something amazing. So fair play. Have you any like top tip before we move on to Donna? What would be your top tip for people entering this year or thinking about entering this year?
Top tip is definitely go with something that you're interested in, because you will just inherently just work more on it if it's a problem that you have in your own life. Because even if nothing comes to text, at least you solved a problem in your own life, and that can really motivate you to keep going and to keep working hard. Because it is hard, because you have to try and balance text with school life, and especially I did mine during like the start of my leaving cert, so that wasn't very fun sometimes. But like because I was doing something I enjoyed and I love playing piano, I just kept going. That was
Excellent.
definitely something I'd say.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Con. That's fabulous. Moving on to Donna. Hey, Donna, can you tell us a little bit about your project?
Yeah, so my project explored how everyday plants could help prevent hyperuricemia, which is when uric acid builds up in the body and it can lead to gout, swelling, kidney stones, and other health issues. I carried a lot of experiments and even got the chance to visit researchers at Trinity after my project to get their input and feedback, which was a great experience. I tested plants such as ginger, turmeric, hibiscus, nettle, and lemon at different concentrations to see which one were best at reducing the uric acid levels. And after that, I combined the best performing extracts and experimented with different ratios to find out if the mixtures worked even better than just the single plants. And the overall aim was just to show how simple, affordable, and accessible plants might offer a natural way to help prevent high uric acid and the related conditions.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love the research you did there. And you kind of pivoted. You often do like you work in the technical space quite a bit, but this was in the science space. So you kind of pivoted and
Yeah.
did something in a different space, to say patch or ISE. That's something I love about tech. You can do it across any discipline, really, so a project in any
Yeah.
kind of space, really. So, it doesn't have to be technology or science. It can be in the arts as well. So anything across the STEM or the arts space. So I think that's really great. So I love to see that yours was in science, and it was an excellent project. Have you any final tip for our students that are thinking about entering this year?
Yeah, I think what helped me best last year was staying flexible, as well as you said that it was like my first like science project as well, because I always do tech projects. So this was actually my first biochemistry project. So along the way, I changed direction a few times. I didn't know what to do or like how to do it. So when I realized there was a better way to do something and make progress and adapt, like I asked my mentors, which actually helped me a lot. I would also add that you shouldn't be afraid to pivot or actually or experiment or challenge your initial assumptions, because mine was like very different to my actual result that came out. I would say the best projects grow as you learn more, and no matter the outcome, you'll come out with skills and insights anyway that stay with you long after the competition.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Sean. That's fabulous. Okay, do we have Aditya on the line?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, Aditya, how are you?
Awesome. I'm good. I know I haven't spoken on the call yet. My name's
Yeah.
Aditya. I also did TECS last year, also during the Leaving Cert, which is an interesting experience. I think I won sixth year runner-up, I believe.
Okay.
Correct? Yes. And kind of a little bit about my project. It's very different, I would say, to both Con and Donna's. I just really liked the idea of creating something physical, and I really hadn't done anything like hardware related to this point. And I saw text come around, and it was like 4 weeks, which is like I don't know if it's the best idea to do something like hardware based for text, but I can tell you it was really, really both like anxiety inducing and also exhilarating. Because of the short deadlines, you have to kind of get really scrappy with how you do things. Because if I like 3D printed one of the exteriors for it and it didn't fit right, sometimes I wouldn't have enough time before the next update is due. So I kind of just like a lot of hot glue and super glue fixes stuff. But for context, my project was kind of this hardware device that looked like a record player, but connected to your Spotify account. And kind of it would sync up, say, if you're listening to the Beatles or whatever, there would be a little display on it, and you'd be able to control your Spotify uh, physically by like moving the vinyl disc forward and back, or just like completely stopping it, or like turning the knob to turn up the volume and stuff. And I really like the idea of creating something physical that would affect your digital like music experience. Um, but one of the things I know you're asking for like tips and stuff.
Yeah.
That I would say was I'm really, really not good at kind of writing down what I do. And as annoying as it was to give weekly updates, I found that anticipating the weekly updates and working backwards from that was really helpful for just like putting on a timeline of where I am with this said project and how to go to like the next step. Because one of the things that I noticed while working on a lot of projects is you tend to go really deep on one rabbit hole, and as exciting as it may be, if you look at the overall progress, you have not much to show for it. And so every week, because of the updates, you're able to like kind of take a step back and reevaluate whether what you're doing is actually going to help you get to your goal. And I found that pretty helpful. So
Excellent. That's great. And I recall, seeing photographs, and I think we had a video as well at one point, and that was really great to be able to demonstrate what you were doing and to be able to like translate, how it worked. So again, if somebody does have something that, visually is appealing, or, you want to demonstrate something, a short video or an image is great to include if you can. And, it really helps people that are judging. So I do recall that was excellent. So thanks so much, Aditya. That's great. And I love the variety of the projects. It's really, really cool. And finally, we have Abutala, who I think we were in the first year of TECS, which was 4 years ago. So this is the fourth year of TECS. Are you online there, Abutala? No, maybe we don't have Abutala today. So TECS started 4 years ago. So Abutala was there with John Collison, actually arrived at that one. So that was very exciting. It was on RT News. So we'd have to see who we can get this year. But yeah, does anybody, Tim, do you? No, I don't think any of us were around when Abutala.
Oh, I think he is here.
Is he here?
Is he?
You can't
I
present.
can see him talking over there, but his mic doesn't seem to be working.
Oh, unless now it's something. Hi, Abutala, can you try the mic again? Just stop sharing. Wait 1 second now. Just have a little bit. Might not working. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing for a second and just see if we can do anything there. Hi, Abutala. I'll see if I can unmute you. Just give us 1 second there now.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, gotcha.
Oh, gosh, okay. Hi. Okay, so my name is Abutala. I did just a quick background. I'm a final year computational social student. I'm a final year computational social sciences student at UCD. As you've heard, I did TECS the first year the competition ran. So it was a little bit less structured than how everything is now, but it's been a completely life-changing experience. It's led me to join Patch several months later, and that's been very, very monumental for me, both personally and for both my career. Yeah, so I came into the competition with almost zero technical experience. So I didn't really have much of a coding background. I learned how to code maybe like 2 weeks beforehand, and a friend sent me this link to the competition, and I said, why not? We'll see how it goes. So I was one of those few people that kind of made their whole project out of scratch. And I ended up making progress a lot quicker than I thought. And I continued adding a lot. So I built a sign language translator for fingerspelling across the British, American, and Irish sign languages. And I implemented different resources for learning, as well as speech-to-text features and whatnot. And I built it because I was inspired by my autistic brother, and I was very aware that communication could be very, very tough on people on the spectrum, and sign language was one of the main ways to go about it. So I designed it to be this accessible educational tool, bit by bit, and yeah.
Amazing. I love that. And again, it's coming from a passion.
Yes, of course. I think a lot of it is you need a bit of passion, I guess, in terms of what you want to do. Like Con has said, I was passionate about learning how to code, and I was passionate about my brother, and one thing led to another, and made a project.
Love that. Have you any tips for students that might be thinking of entering?
I'd say to be very, very consistent. I think it's quite tough in terms of like the timeline and how rigid everything is. But as long as you're consistent with the updates and you make sure to write down and document exactly what you're doing and the amount of progress that you're doing, it can go an extremely long, long way, especially in terms of receiving feedback from the mentors and just seeing where you are at on your development or learning journey and seeing what happens next.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. It's great to hear from the original winner of TECS as we continue on. Thanks so much. Okay, that's great. So we're on to Q&A then. I'm going to stop sharing. And I don't know, Lucy, do we have any questions there in the chat, or do you have some that you had previously? Is Lucy there?
Yeah, there were a couple from the Instagram. So the first one was, are you selected to take part, or is everyone that entered able to take part?
Okay, so yeah, everyone that enters will be allowed to take part. We don't have a cutoff, so absolutely just sign up and you're in.
And then someone else asked if I'm entering as a group, do we all need to submit individual applications?
So no, I think as a group, we were going to just have one application and one update each week.
Perfect. And then the third one we got, which I think we kind of answered, are all the projects technical, or what kind of creative projects have been submitted before?
Just once I remember somebody was writing a novel. Remember that? There was something in Irish language as well. Alison, I think you were online. Do you recall a few more creative ones?
No, I do remember Cons being quite creative. So, but apart from that, no, there was the Irish language was about the novel. That was actually the novel in Irish.
Okay.
That was the same one. I don't off the top of my head, but there has been loads. There was one actually, sorry, there was one about, remember the fashion
magazine design.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, like really anything is, it's open to anything really. We just love to see the variety. We want to see your personality. We want to see your creative process, you know, your problem solving, like, you know, it's just anything really. I think it's really interesting for us to see. So, yeah, go for it. Whatever you have in your mind, and we'll find you a mentor. Any other questions, Lucy?
There's nothing else in the chat, so if anyone has any more, feel free to put them in, or unmute yourself if you want to do that.
Yeah, I see some in the Q&A there actually. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Who's that there?
So, it's Heston.
Hi, Heston. How are you?
Good. Is it possible to change my project?
Okay, yeah, so we haven't started yet. So yeah, before the first submission, you can change it if you want. If you drop us an email and we can update your information. That's fine.
Okay, so I thought it was only tech-based, so I just did something tech-based.
That's fine.
And can we also work on projects we've been working on before and just get on from there?
Absolutely. So I think that was asked as well by Ada. So it can either be a project that you've been working on before, or it can be a brand new project, whatever works best for you. And as the guys were saying, it's going to be kind of judged on the progress you make in November. So on those updates that you give us. So it doesn't matter if you've been working on it for 2 years or 2 months or it's brand new. We just want to see your progress over those 4 weeks. So you can absolutely work on something that you've already been working on, or you can start something new, whatever works for you. And it doesn't have to be technical.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. I think they're the only 2 questions. If we don't have the skill for the project-minded idea for us to focus more on learning and acquiring the skill, it's up to you. If that's something you want to do, if that's your goal with your project, then that's absolutely fine. If you want to learn the skill as you go in your project, and the mentorship will certainly help with that. Or if you want to flex the muscle of a skill that you already have, it's completely up to you what you choose as your project. Okay, just to check if there's anything else there. Oh. Okay, so joinpatch.org is the website. Lucy has put it in the chat there if you want to see more information there. Sign up date is 25th of October, I'm pretty sure is the end date. Is that right? The Friday? Let me just share it again. And we just get the final slide up there. So sign up at jointecs.org, and all the information on dates as well will be there. Okay, do we have any other questions?
Just to clarify, to change my project, do I just re-sign up, or?
You can if you want. So if you re-sign up, we'll just take your latest submission, or you can drop us an email. Lucy, what's our email? Is it help@jointecs? I can't remember. Do you know what it is off the top of your head? Or info? Let's see. Does anyone have that information now? I'd say just go onto the website, info@jointecs. Thanks, sorry, I don't have it to hand. Yeah, so you can drop us an email and we'll update it, or if you want to put in a new submission, we'll just take the one with the timestamp, the latest timestamp. We'll work off that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We're looking forward to seeing your projects. It's going to be really exciting. We love to see the creativity, and it always just blows me away. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for that. It always just blows me away when we see the projects. Tim, do you want to say hello while you're there? Sorry, you didn't get a chance to say hello. Tim is from Patch.
Hi guys, yeah, just a quick hello. I work on Patch with Lucy, and yeah, excited to hopefully see some familiar names in the signups and some cool projects soon.
Yeah, excellent. And look, you've got our email there. If there's any questions, just drop us a line. We're available throughout. If there's any issue any week, just give us a shout and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, it'd be great just to get an update every week on time, so that we can keep everything running smoothly with the mentors. We're managing a lot of people. So yeah, just very excited for this year's competition, and we'll clarify as well the awards day really, really soon, and the location. So we just want to have the sign-ups first so we can see where everyone's location is. So get busy, and excited to see you soon.
Lastly, if you join TECS, are you still allowed to join Patch?
Oh yeah, so TECS is basically kind of a helper to get a project together, so then you can apply for Patch or ISE using that project potentially. So absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
I think every single past winner there who's just spoken, Con, Donna, Tala, Aditya, did TECS and then did Patch. Yeah.
Nice. We only got 2 for ISE though, so we'll have to get our numbers up there. No, it's great. No, it's fabulous to see the talent out there. It really is. So look, we're available, guys. Give us a shout if there's any other questions. This will be recorded, and if you want access to it, I'm sure John, you can share that link afterwards. That's great. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy lives to come join us. And thanks to all our past winners for coming on and sharing your stories. I think that's really helpful. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely evening.